Stay tuned for the biggest fish, the hottest bites, this week here on In-Depth Outdoors. With James Holst.
Look at that. Wow, is that an incredible fish?
And the rest of the IDO fishing team. We're headed to the best fisheries across the upper Midwest and Canada. We'll fish longer, explore unfished bodies of water, and go further off the beaten path in search of the hottest bites in fresh water. With Pat McSherry.
All right, what a fish.
Andy Fiocco.
Wow. Get the colors on this fish.
And Mike Anselmo.
Man, he's thumping.
This is In-Depth Outdoors.
Good morning, everyone. James Holst here with In-Depth Outdoors, and today we are 2 weeks deep into the ice fishing portion of our broadcast season. And we've got a show for you that I'm pretty excited about. We're headed to Mille Lake. Now, over the last couple of years, just about everything that's been out there about Mille Lake has really had very little to do with people actually fishing it. Creel surveys, test nets, lots of studies, all talking about what the big lake should be. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wipe all that away just for one day. And we're gonna go fish it and see what the big lake actually is right now. We're gonna do kind of a pulse check as seen through the eyes of Will Roseberg and I. So we start our day on the north end of Mille Lake. We're gonna run out of Red Door. And a little ice status update, if you will. There's about 5 to 7 inches of decent ice out there. So that will allow for some cautious ATV and snowmobile travel. If you come to this area in the next week or so, absolutely stop and check with some of the lake guys that are working out of the resorts that allow lake access. There's almost always an active crack on the north shore of Mille Lake that you're gonna have to deal with. Those guys will have the latest information on how to get across it safely. So why did we choose the north end of Mille Lake? Well, it's pretty simple. Early in the season, you don't have a lot of ice. I don't wanna run 10, 15 miles out in the lake to get to the mud flats when I can go 2 miles off the north shore and get to the same kind of structure, where very often early ice, we can get in on a great walleye bite. Lots of fish and large fish potential as well. So that's where we start. Will Roseberg and I on Mille Lake here today on In-Depth Outdoors. There we go. This is no mud flat monster.
You got one though.
I got one.
That's good. Catching fish in high blue skies is a good thing.
Yeah, he's not very big. That walleye just snarfed that slab wrap.
I think that's one of the 2013 year class.
Yeah? All right.
They're just
little guy.
chock full of those fish right now.
Let that one go. But that fish was not that terribly aggressive. I mean, what I like to see typically is for that fish to kind of come fire in and be willing to chase it up a couple feet, and that fish did not do that. Of course, we do have bluebird skies out here today, so we're always willing to adjust, and that is that slab wrap that kind of looks like a cross between a hot steel and a perch.
It's nice that you're able to catch one on the slab wrap, James, without having to bait your hook with those.
You ain't kidding. That's actually one of the reasons I opted to go away from the jigging spoon. You start kicking my behind, and I'll switch, of course.
I'm using the Tingler spoon, and with these high bluebird skies, the fluttering spoon might be the ticket.
We didn't exactly get an early start, did we?
No, but one of the nice things about Mille Lake and the mud is you're not limited to short bite windows. They do really turn on, and I'm excited for this evening, but I think we're still gonna scratch out some fish during the middle of the day here. It may be just a high sky, fluttering spoon kind of day.
I think you're gonna catch an eel pout. My money's on you, Will.
Oh, I got a fish looking. He's not looking very well anymore.
Oh, here's a good fish. Come on.
Well, it came in a foot up.
This is definitely a walleye.
It's usually if they don't come straight off the bottom, if they're already up, it's a good sign, but he just went down.
Got him. Good fish, good fish. Slab wrappy.
Oh, I'm gonna get that slush out of there.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, big head shakes, Will.
Nice.
I don't think he's gonna be a 28 or anything, but he is no puppy.
Oh, he's right there.
No puppy, no puppy, no whammies.
I saw a white tail.
No, no eel pout either. Come on, come on. Yeah!
Oh, he's just barely hooked. Oh, James.
I like it.
That is a nice fish.
Woo! You don't need minnows necessarily.
That was worth getting my hands wet for.
I appreciate that, Edison. I will return the favor, I promise. You know what we should do?
Yes.
Obviously, we got 2 fish on the ice, Will. In not a very long amount of time there, I think we should get some iFish pros out, get some of them big minnows down there and see what else we can chase up out here. Obviously, there's fish roaming this flat.
Well, you know how I feel about putting out extra lines.
You are Tip Up Will. See you later, Mama Walleye. Woo!
Oh, she wanted to get you wet?
She tried. I mean, that's a great deal there. I mean, in the span of just a few minutes, I've had, you know, a walleye that represents the future and one that pretty much here in the now. That was a nice fish.
I'm gonna go put my gloves back on and catch one for myself.
Here's that slab wrap. These vertical minnow bait kind of are all the rage here lately. You know, you've got the rip and wrap. That's a version kind of similar to this. With the rattle, that's the slab wrap. It doesn't have a rattle. And what's great about these baits is they really have a cool action under the water. They do a lot of darting and swimming in circles. Similar to a jigging wrap, but with more of a minnow profile. And what I love about it is no bait. You just don't need it. And how we're rigging this, you can see here, I've got a snap. That's a number 2. I could probably get by with a little smaller one. Couldn't locate my little ones today, so that'll do. Obviously, the fish don't care. I've got about 24 inches of 7-pound fluorocarbon tied in there, up to a number 12 swivel, just the tiniest little swivel that VMC sells. And my main line is actually 832 braid. We're in deeper water. I know we're gonna be off the edge of these flats most of the day. I really love the hook sets I get fishing that no stretch braid. If it was a little colder, this line would be a little bit difficult to fish out here because it's gonna ice up a little bit, but today we are right around that freezing mark. So for me, this is the ideal setup. I've got great feel of that small bait in the water, and when it comes time to set the hook, I can really drive the hooks home. That's the way to start this thing off.
I like your start, sir. Let's just hope I'm a closer.
The lithium laser and lithium chipper from StrikeMaster deliver power on demand with the push of a button and an industry-leading 50-volt lithium-ion battery. Reach for the lithium laser if you need unmatched hole-punching speed, or opt for the lithium chipper if you need the durability of chipper blades for opening old holes or drilling in dirty ice. No matter which auger is right for the way you fish, reach for a StrikeMaster Lithium, the electric auger with power to spare.
From the first time you pick up a tuned-up custom rod, you'll know you're holding something special. A rod not mass-produced, but built one at a time by the hands of gifted craftsmen. Rods like the Precision, ice fishing's most versatile multi-species rod, or the Precision Noodle with a tip so sensitive you'll never fish a spring bobber again. And the Commander, the rod that's never met a big fish it couldn't best. Tuned-up custom rods. Ice rods handcrafted for you and the way you fish.
This winter, set a trap for your next trophy with iFish Pro. Ideal for all species, iFish Pro is an innovative fishing system that allows an angler to use their favorite rod and reel instead of trying to manage the fish hand over hand.
There's a flag right there.
Complete your ice fishing arsenal with iFish Pro, tactical ice gear that puts the fight back into tip-up fishing.
Look at that.
Find iFish Pro online at ifishpro.com or at your favorite sporting goods retailer.
Good and lively. Trap is set. Drag's good. And flip the bait runner switch on. What's cool about that bait runner is, all you have to do when you walk up is just throw that bait runner switch closed, and the drag setting that I just checked there is automatically engaged. Lift that lever back up, and it slides like nothing. It's the perfect reel for this kind of scenario.
Oh, here comes one.
Get him, get him.
Good fish. Good
All right.
fish. Well, he's not quite as good as I thought he was.
I'll run anyway, Will.
Okay.
Got him?
Yeah.
We'll take him.
I thought that was a much better fish because we've kind of had a lull here. I forgot what it feels like to have a good one on.
You're allowed that once in a while, Will.
He definitely hooked himself. There we go. It's a pretty little walleye. Another one of those 2013 class. In 2013, there was a huge class, so James and I have caught a couple good ones, and we're hoping to catch a few more still. But in between, these not quite big enough to keep walleyes are really good. They're fun, keeps your kids entertained, keeps you entertained. It's a really nice bite up here. You've got a chance at a big fish, but there's quite a bit of action. So I got to get myself another minnow and see what we can catch next.
Fish on.
Get the iFish Pro.
Here we go. That's that
Is he
little.
there? Is
Yeah,
he there?
that's that little shiner minnow on there, isn't there?
It was just a small one.
Oh,
That isn't a small fish though, is it?
feels good.
Good.
Yeah, it's not one of the 2013s we keep talking about.
That rod though, I get so throwing because it's got such a soft tip.
Yep, backbone towards the middle, towards the reel seat, but a real soft tip.
It's a fun way to catch them.
You wouldn't want a stiff rod for this, not in the iFish Pros. You want that.
Oh my gosh, it's a good fish. Oh, he's just right there.
Come on, fish. Come on, fish.
Oh!
Yeah.
Look at that.
I think Mille is alive and doing fine.
Oh, there's no walleyes here. Oh wow.
Yeah, right in the roof of the mouth.
Got her.
Oh, beautiful fish in the fading sunlight here a little bit.
That's a gorgeous fish.
That's
That's what we came up here for.
Mid 20-inch fish. You know, we've had a couple like that. Hope we get a couple more.
Yeah, we still got a couple hours.
Back you go. Same setup we've been using, except on that one we had a shiner. It was one of the larger ones we've got, which was about yay big. Not a huge shiner by any means.
Not like the baits we're catching them on earlier.
I got a feeling that, well, I'm catching them on slab wrap, you're getting them on the Tingler spoon, and we're getting them up here in the iFish Pros,
Yeah.
and everything's happening. So we're gonna stay right here, obviously, until we lose light. We're doing pretty darn well for the first trip out to Mille this ice fishing season. So I'm very impressed with the quality of the bite so far.
Let's do it. Catch some more.
Will you grab me a minnow?
Yes.
Now, one thing I want to talk about here is if you look at the way Will and I rig up these baits, the hook is only about 4 to 5 inches below the sinkers. We actually use quite a bit of weight. You know, as walleye guys, we can kind of get sucked into the idea that we have to be ultra finesse. But the reason we do that is if you've ever watched a walleye chase live bait underwater when it's, you know, stuck under a tip up or a rattle reel, very often that minnow, if say the sinker is up about 1.5 feet, that minnow will swim way up and away from the walleye. Obviously, he's trying to get away. And more often than I'm willing to accept, that walleye won't chase that minnow down. So what we do is we just pin those sinkers right down near that minnow, and when he tries to swim away, he just can't go very far. So we kind of consider it putting that minnow on a short leash. And for us, it really makes a huge difference out here when we're on a good bite window. We want every walleye that comes in and takes a look at a minnow, we want to convert that into a fish on the ice.
Markham's new pocket-sized handheld underwater cameras, the Recon 5 and 5 Plus, use a 5-inch color display to deliver superior screen detail and employ a combination of dark water LED and infrared lighting to punch through the darkness. The Recon 5 Plus adds a built-in DVR and on-screen display for critical information, previously only available on full-sized underwater viewing systems. This winter, see what you've been missing with a Recon from Markham Technologies, the undisputed leader in underwater cameras.
Everything you'd expect from a premium quality fish house, and so much more. Glacier combines superior craftsmanship and premium quality materials to produce a comfortable and enjoyable mobile base camp for your next outdoor adventure. Available in a variety of models, a Glacier Ice House offers more standard features, more usable space, and a better fit and finish than the competition. Visit our website at glaciericehouse.com to find a dealer near you and see why a Glacier Fish House is the ultimate way to play.
At Aluma, we're in it for the long haul. That's why we make the longest-lasting, most rugged trailers on the road. Flatbeds, bike haulers, tilt trailers, and enclosed. If you have a lot to move, we've got your way to move it. Our lightweight aluminum trailers will handle even your heaviest loads. At Aluma, we are right behind you with an industry-leading 5-year warranty. Because every trip and every load is valued.
This winter, set a trap for your next trophy with iFish Pro. Ideal for all species, iFish Pro is an innovative fishing system that allows an angler to use their favorite rod and reel instead of trying to manage the fish hand over hand. Complete your ice fishing arsenal with iFish Pro, tactical ice gear that puts the fight back into tip-up fishing.
Look at that.
Find iFish Pro online at ifishpro.com or at your favorite sporting goods retailer.
Oh, here comes one. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's got some better backbone to it. For a second there, he was coming easy. Now he's getting a little...
Getting feisty?
Oh, he's got some head shakes. I got the swivel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that head.
Big fish.
Look at that head.
Woo! There you go.
Oh.
Got him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Glow goldfish strikes again.
Tingler.
He is, he's not going anywhere. Oh. You know, we're just getting to the bewitching hour, and I really like to go to that glow hook. We've been not seeing a lot of fish, but when they come up, they're pretty aggressive.
Every one of them just comes right up and does exactly what you want them to do. That's a nice fish. That one's really filled out.
But look at that. This is a fatter fish than we've been seeing with these big fish. And this is why people shouldn't forget about Mille. It's kind of turned into the forgotten lake with everything going up here, but you can still get 25, 26-inch really quality fish.
See you later, fish. I like it when you get the tidy bowl swirl as they go down.
See you later, honey. Thank you for playing.
That was a nice, chubby fish.
And I've always wanted to do this. Hi, Hunter. Daddy's coming home tomorrow. We're catching big walleyes.
In-Depth Outdoors, Spot on the Spot ID.
So in today's Spot on the Spot, I really want to talk about how we approached our time on the water today. I mean, as you take a look at the lake map here we have from Garmin, we launched up right there. And as you can see, we've got easy access to just a number of flats within just a couple miles of the North Shore. And you can see we've got East Flat, Welmer Flat, Bomback Flat, so many options to choose from. So how did we narrow down that search? What were we looking for and what represented our first day out on the ice here on Mille? So as we zoom in here a little bit, what we really focused our attention on was the portions of the reefs that really offered steep breaks. So as you look around this reef here, East Flat, for example, this section here, where the contour lines get widely spaced, just not very steep there. Areas like that, we found almost no active fish. Now, come to the other side of the reef. You can see the contour breaks get much closer together. It indicates a much steeper break. And to narrow it down further, as you can see, there's hundreds of yards of that type of structure. But to narrow it down further, what we were looking for is something secondary. Find the sharp break and then give me a secondary piece of structure or shape that really would hold and concentrate those fish. Areas like this, sharp break, a protrusion off the corner of the reef. That type of spot definitely needs to be investigated. Let's move around here just a little bit. Bomback Flat. Look at that sharp little point right at the bottom. You've got your sharp contours and it just needles off, pointing out towards the basin of the lake. that's a spot that definitely deserves to be investigated further. So just use these couple of ideas. Early in the season, what produced for Will and I today, very sharp breaking contours, and then look for that secondary protrusion in these steep break areas to really hold the large majority of the walleyes. Don't get pulled into the idea of trying to fish an entire flat. They're big. These are not small pieces of structure. So just a couple of ideas, use them out there on the ice, you're going to be a lot more successful for it.
Markham Technologies unleashes GPS with the release of the RT9, the first to combine sonar, underwater camera, and navionics mapping in a 9-inch ruggedized touchscreen tablet. Built on the Android operating system, the Wi-Fi-enabled RT9 can be used as a standalone tablet, or snap into the cradle, or performance pack for unmatched portability. Ice electronics the way they were meant to be. Sonar, GPS, underwater camera, one unit. Experience the RT9 from Markham Technologies. Markham's new pocket-sized handheld underwater cameras, the Recon 5 and 5 Plus, use a 5-inch color display to deliver superior screen detail and employ a combination of dark water LED and infrared lighting to punch through the darkness. The Recon 5 Plus adds a built-in DVR and on-screen display for critical information, previously only available on full-sized underwater viewing systems. This winter, see what you've been missing with a Recon from Markham Technologies, the undisputed leader in underwater cameras.
Oh, I got a fish coming.
Grease him. Oh!
Not quite as good as I thought, but not bad. Oh!
Buried rod tip, buddy.
It's getting feisty. He's pulled a little drag. This is better than I thought.
I'm gonna come running whether you tell me it's a little guy or a big one.
You got it?
I got him.
Okay.
Give me a job. I ran all the way over here, right?
Oh, look at the head. Oh no.
I got
Stuck right there.
I got it. It's a nice fish. Come here.
Oh!
That's a easy one to grab, Will. The spoon is gone. You got a pliers? This is fun.
Look at that. Look at how golden this one is.
Nice.
That's a pretty fish. All right, so what we're doing here now is I just have had 2 iFish Pros go off up on top here. So I moved up into shallower water, and on my 3rd hole, I found this fish. The spoon that I love fishing just as it gets dusk is a really large glow. It's got a lot of surface area. It's a real light flutter spoon. It's a 3/16 ounce VMC Tingler in golden shiner. What I love about this spoon versus a lot of others, it just has more surface area of glow. I've had better luck at dusk with this spoon than any other spoon. I'm gonna let this one go here and get back down because it's the witching hour. She gone. That was fun. Let's do it again.
I'll run over to help you with the fish anytime, Will.
Thank you. You are a true gentleman.
Flag, Will.
This is getting crazy. That's the same one that went off twice in the last 5 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna give this fish a little extra time. We are right up top of the flat. It's so important for fishermen to be willing to work up and down the sides of these flats to stay on the fish. 1 minute they're out there in 30 feet and the next they're up top.
Well, 5 minutes ago, this one was set in 30 feet. We moved it in here. We just missed one and now we've got another one going within 5 minutes.
All right.
Hammer time, James.
Got him.
Ooh. A little drag?
Tuned up custom dead stick.
Yeah.
Come here, you.
Watch
like
that.
I said, I don't think he's a giant. That's why it took us 2 minnows to catch this fish. I just let him eat this one here just a little bit longer. Here's the bobber stop.
That's not a bad fish. Oh, it is a little fish.
Choking on it.
Then that's what happens when your flag pops and they're gone or you miss them. A lot of times it's the littler fish.
When I'm fishing a 6-inch minnow, and I know there's lots of different year classes in a lake like this, I don't get too bent about flags that don't convert. When I see that, you know, the flag pop, a little bit of line come out, and then it just kind of sit there. Every once in a while a big fish will fool you, but more often than not, that's gonna be your little shaver. He's down there trying to tackle a minnow about a third his size, and you're gonna miss a high percentage of those fish. The ones that I really get bent about is when that flag pops, that line goes off at a nice consistent pace. Those are the ones that are usually your bigger fish. That fish has already grabbed that minnow, he's eating it, and he's off following around with his friends off to the next meal.
And people don't think that you're gonna have 1 or 2 fish using a big minnow. We're catching fish pretty consistently of all sizes. So having these out here has really probably at least doubled our catch today, I think.
Without question. When it comes to choosing bait, one of the last things I would ever put on a tip-up is a fathead for
Correct.
walleyes. One of the first things I'm gonna reach for is a sucker minnow about that big. You know, when you take a look at the size of a walleye's mouth and a sucker minnow that big, I mean, that's a Scooby snack for a walleye, you know, 20 inches or bigger. Yeah, he's pretty beat up.
And the thing about these bigger minnows is the fish you're gonna deal with aren't the ones that are just messing with your lure. They're hungry, they wanna eat, so they're the fish we're looking for.
All right, Mr. Will Roseberg, I feel like I've run some laps today.
This was a fun day.
Indeed
This was
it
a
was.
fun day. Let's not wait as long as we did the last time.
You know, it's been a couple years since you and I have had a chance to fish together. You're right, let's not let that happen again. You know, this is a pretty cool episode. I don't really want to talk too much about you know, the politics of Mille Lake. Today, the fish spoke for the lake. The lake is in really good shape, lots of year classes. The fish to me looked like they were pretty healthy. What kind of changes need to be made to continue to improve this fishery? I'm not sure. What I do know is Mille Lake is back. I had a ton of fun fishing today, and like I said, we caught fish from 13 inches to mid-20s and all the way in between. So that to me is a sign of a fishery that's at least healing. For decades, Mille Lake was that crown jewel of central Minnesota. And for me, it's got a special place in my heart. Will and I, of course, have done a lot of fishing up here together, open water and on the ice. So like you said, let's come back out sometime later this winter. We've got enough ice to take that wheelhouse out in that deeper mud and see if we can't repeat what we did here today.
Heck yeah.
So from all of us here at In-Depth Outdoors, you know, this is our second ice episode, but it's Christmas already. I mean, that's unusual for us. Usually we've got 4 or 5 episodes under our belt before we start talking about Christmas, but this episode will actually air on Christmas Day, Sunday. I don't want anybody to watch it on Christmas. TiVo it or watch it on YouTube on Monday. Spend time with your families, maybe even get out on the ice. It's all about the quality time. From our families to yours, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the New Year's.
Flag!
Of course it is.
For more info on the latest fish reports, gear recommendations, and hottest techniques, connect with us online at indepthoutdoors.com or follow us on Facebook at In-Depth Outdoors. And if you enjoyed today's show, be sure to let our sponsors know.